Alright, so there's nobody in here, but I know the stream is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. So basically, what I've got is the, let's see, this is the BTT Octopus Pro. And where I left off in the build process was to the point where I needed to get this thing set up. And this is the let's see, version 1.0. It's BTT Octopus Pro. You can see we got the number right there, 446. That's going to be the MCU that I'm going to have to select in order to set this thing up. See what we got here. It's a nice little guide. It's a USB-C cable in the package. And brand new controller board. I don't think I've taken it out of the package yet. And we also have our TMC 2209 stepper drivers, BTT. And basically what I'm going to do is just go through, get all this stuff set up and ready to be placed into the board. But I got to get the board ready too. And for you guys who've been following along with me, sorry for the unannounced stream. Just trying to get it where I can. Try to get this thing set up. Early in the morning here in North Carolina. So nobody was made aware of. There's our board. Very nice controller board. Basically what I need to do, definitely need to come with some fuses and jumpers. Very cool. Let's see, set this off to the side here. I need to set my jumpers in the correct position. And I'm thinking right now it looks like it's set up for the higher voltage. We need to prep our drivers here. Get all this stuff going. We can have a controller board and go ahead and get this thing put into the printer. I'm gonna try to zoom this get this little camera in closer. That way everybody can kind of see what I'm doing. It's kind of a short notice. Just jumped in here, unscheduled, unannounced. I wanted to get after it. Let's see if we can dial in our camera here a little bit. Better. thing does. There we go. It's a lot better close up. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so I'm going to have to refer to the manual here. So basically, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to go into the internet and I'm going to look up this particular controller board because I remember reading some different things on it that I didn't see in the Voron site. I just want to make sure Octopus Pro, and this is the version 1.0. Yeah. IQ equipment sponsored. Yep. Let's have a look at this. This might be it. For so we got some open source material. I think this is what I'm after right here through the GitHub. This is the Octopus Pro open source material GitHub. So yeah, let's have a look at this. And TRIDENT Octopus Pro. So basically what I'm looking at is the GitHub site. It's pretty much the manual for this board here in particular. And it's in Chinese. So that's not what I'm after. Need it to translate. There we go. So the big TRIDENT Octopus Pro says, warning, voltage of all 8 drivers can be selected by the jumper. The jumper is inserted on the left. The corresponding driver voltage is motor power. It is main power if it's inserted on the right. The motor power port maximum voltage is up to 60 volts. The main power port maximum voltage supported is only 28 volts. All 8 drivers of this motherboard can be used in any combination, motor power or main power. So basically right now I think it's selected correctly. If it's main power, it's inserted on the right. Motor underscore power port maximum voltage supported is up to 60 volts. The main power port is 28. So which one do I want? The difference between the V1 and the V1.0 and the V1.1 support up to 60 volt high voltage stepper drivers, and each driver can select the voltage from motor power or main power by jumper. The pin arrangement of the Raspberry Pi header is modified to be exactly the same as Raspberry Pi from top to bottom. still pretty confusing. Let me go back to the TRIDENT site here for the Voron design site. Let's go into the build, electrical wiring. I actually think they have, controller MCU wiring. So we got the BTT Octopus. So it's Voron 1.8 Octopus Pro wiring. Set jumpers as shown. This is just like it's not really showing for this. Not showing for this board right here in particular. I think this is where the confusion comes in with this Octopus Pro. Here we go. Octopus Pro 1.0 pinout is located here. See if we can follow this, find out something. I think I already have this pinout downloaded. This is why I didn't want to do this yesterday on the there we go. Let's do this one. Open up the wrong manual for this earlier. Okay, now we're in the English. BTT Octopus Pro version 1.0. BTT Octopus Pro 1.0 is a powerful and feature-rich 3D printer motherboard. Supports up to 8 60-volt stepper drivers, 9 stepper driver outputs in total. This one actually has the STM 446 main control chip. I have to keep that in mind whenever I'm setting up for all the setup that goes into running it in Clipper. Supports Clipper. It says voltage selection jumpers for each motor driver allow the user to independently select the voltage routed to that driver. Select between the dedicated motor voltage input up to 60 volts and main logic input 24 volts. So the stepper drivers that I have are 24 volt. I just want to make sure I got these little jumpers that are right here, they're on the correct one, because that's exactly what I want. This provides interfaces with Raspberry Pi using emulated serial over USB or direct UART to any other serial ports. Supports 4 hot end heaters. Provides separate power inputs for motors, bed heating, logic fans, 12 volts or 24 volt supply inputs. 12 volt only supported on motor and bed. Logic must be 14.1 volts and 28 volts with built-in 12 volts, 4 amps, 5 volts, 8 amps, 3.3 volt, 1 amp regulators to provide rails for peripheral use. So I can use up to 6 PWM fans, and 2 always-on fans with the ability to individually select voltage for that rail that would drive each fan. So basically, let's see some more pages here. Provides 2 stepper outputs connected in parallel to the Z driver, allowing for parallel dual axis Z drive. I think that's what Delmar Franks was talking about yesterday. This is where the firmware is selected for. Just kind of glossing back over this, just trying to refresh my memory a little bit. Provides a built-in PT 100/1000 interface using an integrated Max 31,865 amplifier. Supports 2, 3, or 4 wire connections. So, supports CAN bus. That's all the information on it. This packs a ton of features. This is a note: motherboard wiring. This necessitates components and connectors. The component connector density when it's not possible to include the silk screen for connector labels at the top. We recommend that you snap a picture at the bottom of the board before starting the installation so you have a label reference on hand. If you forget to do so, you can always make use of the pins PDF file available in our GitHub repo. So I don't know. I guess everything would be reversed, but yeah, there is good silk screen printing on the back. This probably isn't a bad idea. Grab a snapshot of that. I think I'll do that right now. That way I do have it referenced. Alrighty. So basically what we got right here is motor power, mainboard power, the 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 is my bed power. This is the bed power out. Yep. Very nice. That would be pretty simple to get wired up. Automatic bed powering down. I'm not worried about none of that. Want to try to get to these jumpers to make sure I select the correct one. I think they're already on the right one, but I don't want to be pushing. Alright, here we go. Stepper driver optional modes. If you are using drivers that do not support configuration over a serial port, then you will need to operate them in step/drive mode and set the jumpers beneath the stepper driver according to the microstepping you desire. Each driver will have its own microstepping table, so we do not attempt to speak on behalf of the driver manufacturer in our manual. Please consult the data sheet. Nevertheless, below you will see a figure which will help you identify which jumpers correspond to the pins that your drivers will use to configure microstepping, and we have additionally included section appendix A1 tables for the most common drivers. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Motherboard jumper settings. Each motor driver on the Octopus Pro can have the voltage used by it configured via a jumper. Before powering your Octopus Pro, always double check the driver voltage jumpers to ensure that the correct voltage is being routed to each driver. Sending a high voltage to a driver that is not rated for it is likely to destroy it and may even cause damage to the motherboard. We don't want to do that. Setting the jumper for any given driver to the right, as shown in the image below, will provide the motherboard input voltage for that driver to use. Generally, the motherboard uses 24 volts. Yeah, so just double checking that, and yeah, it's already set correctly, which is good. That's what I wanted to make sure. So now, let's see. I'm just going to check these. So I think I feel pretty good about going back to the Voron site. Let's see. And getting this thing all set up per their manual. All the fan outputs, which is right along in here, and the proximity sensor can individually have the voltage supplied by the pin header selected by configuring the jumpers associated with the header below to select 24 volts. Note that all are shown in the same configuration, even though they can be individually configured. So if I want 12 volts, I'll slide the jumpers all the way to the middle pins right there. You can see I got the jumpers right now. They already got them set to the bottom, which I think is the 24 volt rail. And I can confirm this by right there on the back. Yep, and the top rail is going to be 5 volts. So I can configure each one of these ports. So since jumpers carry voltage railed directly from one of the regulators or from the input, if you short the jumpers in any way other than the shown connections, it will likely cause damage to the motherboard. When connecting the fan, make sure that you connect the positive terminal to the positive input as shown. Yeah, I think these can be configured individually. That's pretty neat. I'm not going to mess with the stall guard settings, MCU jumper. Alright, we do have some dip switches going on in there too. What's that all about? So this is the PT100/PT1000 dip switches. PT100 amplifier supports 2, 3, 4 wire connections to the board. However, the dip switch needs to be configured for the setup that you're using. Find the dip switch in the location shown in the image below. Note that the dip switch has switch numbers and the on position printed on them. Good luck in seeing that. It looks like it's covered up with something like some plastic film or something like that. So we got a 2-wire PT1000. Select the connection arrangement for your thermistor according to the table below. Bear in mind that you still need to configure your firmware using the correct sense resistor values. Alright, so we have a 2-wire PT1000. It's telling me to set 1 and 2 on, 3 off, and 4 on. So I don't know. Yeah, we got some dip switches right there on this thing. Let's see. Right here in this area, and I can see. Let me have a look at the back side of it here. Yeah, there's not I'm gonna have to definitely get my eyeballs for this one. So this is the reason why I didn't want to dive off into this in the midstream yesterday, especially right there toward the end of the stream, because I knew there was a lot more going on with this board than met the eye. Yeah, I can see them labeled. I do see on. So yeah, I'm going to have to configure these switches for the 2-wire PT1000, and I guess I'll just take something and pop this little this must be some kind of like protective plastic film maybe. What's on this? What's this all about? There we go. Just pulled that little plastic film cover off. And for the 2-wire PT1000, which is what I'm going to be running, so you see the dip switches right there, and I'm probably not going to be able to catch it on that camera. I don't think it's going to zoom in this well. Basically what I'm after right here, there's dip switches right here, and I need to turn 3 off for the 2-wire PT1000, which is what I'm running. I'm gonna just flip this little switch right here off. So there we go. So that's off. Alright, so I think I'm pretty much onto the Voron design. Go back to the Voron website, and I can go ahead and set all these jumpers right here as recommended in the Voron site, because it's all pretty much following the same things as the regular BTT Octopus board. I just wanted to make sure, just wanted to really double check and verify that I had these jumpers in the correct place up top for the voltage selection, and getting this thing right here set up for the PT1000. Let's see, Voron design, Voron documentation, that's where I'm going. We want to be in the build, going into the electrical wiring, so we're still in there. And just kind of skimming through this really quick, because I've been through all this. Basically, where I'm at, and here is controller MCU wiring, and I'm just coming down here to TRIDENT, BTT Octopus. So they actually have BTT Octopus, and there is a warning. This is Voron 1.8, Voron V1.8 /TRIDENT Octopus, and it has Pro in parentheses wiring. Very top, they're giving me a warning: do not leave HEO or HE1 connected. It says there have been reports of Octopus boards coming preloaded with a firmware that turns on all heaters and fans as soon as you power up the board. As a result, I recommend leaving the heaters disconnected until loading the clipper firmware. So it's telling me how to set these jumpers. So we're going to remove all the red, and we're going to leave one right here on this third leg. That's what it looks like. Yeah, there's a big difference between what it shows in the picture. Insert only the jumper in the green and remove the other three jumpers in the red in order to use TMC 2209 UART mode. Move all the jumpers of diagonal to avoid the influence diagonal in stop. So there's no jumpers there. Right here's this one. In the end, looks like we got an extra jumper down here as well. I don't know what the heck that's for. Something completely different. Pull up. Definitely a completely different board. So all those. Number 5, be fused to set the probe voltage to the system supply voltage. Really don't even think I need that because I'm not using the probe. But we'll go ahead and let's worry about this up here. So basically, just kind of looking at the board. Yep. See if I can pull these jumpers out of here. It's the best way to pull these things out. Yep, I'm already trying to break stuff. Don't need that one. These things are turned all different kinds of ways. Really no good way to get after it. Oh yeah, they just come right out. Alright. By the way, morning, can't stay long. Well, Delmar, appreciate you stopping in. This is probably boring right here anyway. This is kind of why I just jumped in here all of a sudden. I'm just basically trying to get this BTT Octopus Pro set up. Something that's completely different than the one that it shows in the Voron manual. I don't know if you caught that, but we got these little dip switches in here for the PT 1000. I was just trying to make sure I got everything. Getting everything set up and ready to put these stepper drivers in. We're going to put those in here in a bit. That way I can go ahead and stick this thing into the printer and get it going. It needs a brain. But I'm glad you stopped in for a little bit. I'm just trying to get what I can when I can. Sorry for the unannounced stream. Like I said, this is the first time I've opened this board right here and actually had a look at it. Did grab the manual, read a lot of documentation on it, and forgot it all. So just kind of going back and having a refresher as I'm trying to get it ready to be put into the printer, because I know I can't just stick it right in there. There has to be some prep work. But glad you stopped in to say hey. You're always welcome. So we're going to put these drivers as recommended per the Voron in UART mode. I think is what this is saying it is. These drivers. plenty of jumpers. It'd be nice if we just left them off and let you put them in where you wanted them. Doing the morning work / breakfast. Nice. I'd look at LDO TRIDENT 250 docks for a wiring guideline. Did they have Demar? Did they have the Octopus Pro and LDO docks? That'd be awesome. Definitely look into it, because this board is somewhat different than the Octopus, the regular one. Not much, but I don't know why I went with the Pro. I guess the prosumer bug bit me. I don't think I really needed it. It's too much board. Somebody said, hey, it's a good idea to future-proof it. So, let's see, fans. Yeah. Now, all the fans that I have are 24 volts, and I have it selected for 24. Let's go ahead and move this jumper here. Move this to the far end, even though I'm not really using a probe, so we'll just go ahead and have that there, just in case I decide to. And it tells me to remove this jumper right here. Don't need that one. And I think pretty much that's it. Not the Octopus Pro on LDO docks, but layout, wire runs. I think it's mainly pin names and maybe CAN bus. Okay, yeah. And I do have I have downloaded the pinout diagram for this board, so I think I pretty much got this thing prepped. Just kind of double checking everything, making sure. So one thing that's different than the Octopus and this Octopus Pro, I got this little jumper down here on the corner. That's definitely different. And of course you got the jumpers across the top for the 60 or the 24 volt selection. I do have that set, or it came set correct, so I didn't have to mess with none of that. I just wanted to make sure. Let's see. One thing I am going to have to do, I know that my LEDs are 5 volts. I'm not sure if that leg, I'll have to look at it, if it is already 5 volts for the LEDs for the NeoPixels, or is that a jumper that I'm going to have to select. Let's see, I think. Oh yeah. It's already 5 volts. So cool. Okay. LEDs are 5 volts. It's the 3 red pins. Yeah, that's what I was just looking at the back of the silk screen, checking that out. Just making sure. I like these little rails right here where I can select whatever voltage I want for my fans. They're already set to 24, which is good. All my fans are 24 volts, so I think I'll be fine with that one. And just looking at, we got, it's going to be B motor, A, Z, motor front left. It's going to be Z1 motor rear, Z2 motor front right, and then the extruder. Yeah, that should be everything. get some stepper drivers in here. So I got the TMC 2209 stepper drivers. And see, I've never seen one of these before. I like how it has this little pot right here on it. Not sure what that's for. I'm gonna have to look into that. Is that some kind of way you can adjust the current, maybe going to the motor? That is yep, TMC 2209 stepper drivers V1.3, and I did get these from KB3D. All right, so that one goes in there like so. Making sure I got the pins lined up. Smashing one down in there. Yeah. Very nice. As we learned with DeWitt, change the unused fans to 5 volts as a precaution. Current on standalone SPI UART does it from software. Fans to 5 volts as a precaution. Yeah. What happened to DeWitt? I must have missed that one. Was this whenever he done his wiring for his TRIDENT? See, now Delmar, you got me wanting to go back and look at some of his videos, which I've been kind of looking back on just for reference here and there. I've been going along with this. Definitely don't want to burn anything up. Z motor lift. Let's go in here. It's better to undervolt than overvolt. Oh, okay, I got you. The 5 volt into the LDO board for the tool head 2-piece. Step burr PCB. Oh. I actually have I have 5 volts that goes into that 2-piece PCB. So yeah, but that 5 volts, yeah. Yep. Yep, there is a 5 volt leg. So we got BA motor, Z motor front left. We're going to skip one right here. This is going to be Z1 motor rear. Don't want to bend any of these little legs. They probably wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good for the board. Giving me problems. Definitely over the hole. Looks like something's binding up in there. It's not lined up right. So weird, fellas. So weird. everything. There we go. Just had to, wasn't quite holding it right. No, don't skip one. Why does it show that? I'm just skipping this port. So there is a stepper driver put in there. I'll skip one here, put a driver there. See, I was about to mess up already. So yeah, it gets a stepper driver right here. Yeah. And last but not least, skip one. Put this right here. This is for the extruder. And there we go. There all that fun stuff is. And I'll go ahead and put these little heat sinks on here. So there is some other documentation along in here too. In the Boron design site, it says other. It says Octopus Pro 1.0 pinout is located. Oh yeah. Go anywhere on this thing. As long as they're on top. Little holes right there look like it might be a place for it. The JST for the steppers are 9. If you have to skip the 3 from the left, it's a mirrored Z04. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, skip that one right there. Because that's motor. And I look at the silk screen, which actually, let's see if it'll show up. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it labeled. It just says fused. Voltage fuse. Let's look at the back here. So there we go. On the silk screening, motor 0, 1, 2-1, 2-2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 7. It's weird how they got that reversed. But we'll definitely be after motor 0, 1, 2, 1, and 3. Yeah. So I think we're good. We'll be skipping that 1. It's a mirrored Z0 port. Skip 3 or 4th. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man. So imagine that these things over here just go. We don't think we covered anything over here. We're gonna put one there. And I want to try to keep them straight as I can. Wasn't expecting anybody to be in here with me. I appreciate you stopping in for a little bit, Delmar. So early in the morning here. It's probably really early in some of the other places where some of the guys that like viewing my content are from. Fingernails for this. Seems like a really nice controller board. Well, Benny Brady, good morning, howdy. How you doing? Wasn't expecting anybody to be in here. That's awesome. That's awesome. We're trying to get our controller board prepped and ready to put in. I knew it was going to be a big deal yesterday. I was coming up on a 5-hour stream, and there was a couple things that we got some thunderstorms happening, so I might wind up losing my stream, fellas. I didn't even realize it was supposed to be thunderstorms today. I just heard it thundering like crazy. Either that or we're under attack at the moment. It's been some bad weather moving through the middle of the states. Just tore up a lot of stuff. It's unfortunate for some people in Mississippi. I've seen some terrible damage up that way. Some of that stuff might be headed this way. So wow, this thing's already bent. I didn't even do that. That sneaks. Imagine it's still cool. In Florida, up early to get work done before it gets hot. Yeah, I imagine it's probably. Yeah, you said it's pretty humid out there yesterday, wasn't it? Did you say 79% humidity already? It's one thing I hear a lot of people that's from down in Florida talk about is the humidity is just crazy down there. I always wanted to go see Florida. I have a friend that goes down quite a bit that I work with. He likes to go down there and gator fish, fishing for gators or shooting them or whatever the heck he does. So there we go. I think our board is set up. So what you were suggesting, Delmar, was to take some of these other jumpers. I know I'm going to be using the print cooling fan, the hot end fan, the controller fan, and the exhaust fan. At the moment, and I'll still have about 4 more jumpers. Yeah, I have 4 more JST connections right here available. And you say just going to put them on the 5-volt leg. We'll do that. What if I just left it off? Does it have to be jumped? Probably puts a lot on the big load on the system right there. It gets really hot. Too many bugs in Florida. Awake and cruising YouTube. Catch up on SpaceX news. You have a few hours to kill before church. Awesome. Awesome. Heading to church. Nothing wrong with that, man. There we go. So, just looking at this. This is where the probe signal is, but we're not going to do that. We're actually going to reconfigure our Z end stop for our tab probe. So I see that that's where that is. We've got our NeoPixel signal pin right here. I think we're ready to rock and roll, fellas. Kind of looking at everything. Yep, we're looking pretty good. I think we're in good shape. Might be ready to go on and go ahead and get this thing, get the plastic parts that's needed to get this thing mounted up into the printer. That's where I was wanting to get to yesterday. Where's my manual at? Controller board. So I had to 3D print specific parts for this octopus. They're all there in the site, and this one's actually labeled Octopus. So let's get these. I'm running low on 3D printed parts, so that must be a good sign. Oh, I hope this weather leaves us alone. It ain't good. Saw a video yesterday of an alligator forcing his way through a wrought iron fence. It was an amazing feat for as a lizard. Yeah, them things are pretty powerful. An unfortunate thing that I seen was I think it was just down in Florida. A little old lady was out walking her dog, and a gator got after her dog, and she tried to save the dog. Well, the gator actually wound up getting a hold of her and took her with him. And I guess once you're in a gator's jaws, that's it for you, which is very sad. Let's see here. Awful weird how she's putting this thing in. Let's see. There we go. That makes sense. It gets it centered under the board. So the way I was looking at it, so you got these two parts here for the controller board. I was trying to put it like this, and I was like, it don't make sense because I have my controller board off center. But actually, that makes even more sense right there. And I think this is just going to get them M2 by 10 self-tappers. So we're going to be threading into plastic. Yep, M2 by 10 self-tapping. I think I got these laid up here from yesterday. We used them a little bit. Maybe we didn't. Oh man, yeah, it was pretty bad. I think, I mean, I love my animals when I have them, but gators coming after me and my dog. I'm gonna try to outrun the dog. Unless I got a firearm or something like that and I could shoot the dad blame thing with it. But most people don't have those things on them. There we go. 4 M2 by 10 self-tappers. Little Chihuahua Chico would barely be a snack. Yeah, he might not. Oh, alligator, he might not even want to look at it. Little Chihuahua. Ain't hardly any meat on them. He might look at you before he would the Chihuahua. Oh, alligators. Yeah, that's something I don't want to mess with. Like I said, my buddy, he likes hunting them. He cooks them up and eats them. Never tried them before. He says it's good eating. So basically all I'm doing is just putting these self-tappers in here. Getting this thing right here prepared for... You don't have to be faster than the gator, only have to be faster than the other guy. That's right, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Was that movie Without a Paddle? He says, I don't have to worry about outrunning the bear, I only have to worry about outrunning you. It's gotta be faster than you are. The bear was getting after him. Yep. It's pretty good. Alright, yeah, that threaded up really nice. I want to over tighten it. I did wind up stripping a plastic part yesterday that I have to 3D print. Not really a functional part, it's just kind of holding the din rail in place. I think it might be alright. It's hard to believe it's thundering out there because it wasn't really cloudy whenever I went outside this morning. You've seen too many episodes of Swamp People. Look at Orlando on the maps. All the tiny lakes. Main reason traffic is so bad. Road have to bypass the lakes and the ponds. Yeah, I bet the fishing is outstanding in Florida. Just gotta watch out for the gators. Basically all I'm doing is just creating a little mount for my controller board, and something that I run into yesterday. Demar, you might have been in here and seen it. I had a layer shift on one of my controller mount parts for the PSU. That part looks really good. This one does too. So maybe this thing will snap right into the din rail. Got a little bit more movement than that other one. Yeah, I think we're ready to get this thing attached to my controller board. Yep. And it attaches by M3 by 6 button head screws. And do I have some up here? Yep. Like saltwater fishing, more variety and better scenery. Yeah, there's a whole lot more variety of fish when it comes to saltwater fishing. The PSU mount is a tight mount. You took yours off yesterday while updating your wiring. Yeah, people dodging the turtles crossing the road. Don't they? Is it in Florida where they have all them crabs that come out and cross the road too? All right, so I think what's going on here? Why does this look backwards to me? No, it's right. Okay. You got all them crabs that come out every year to breed. No, them ain't right. Those are M4 by 6. I thought they looked too big. need the M3 by 6. Yeah, those look way too big. Yeah, I had to do a little filing to get my get that deadline PSU in there. Well, we're definitely getting lower on the hardware. So I guess that's a good sign. Parts are starting to look like empty boxes. Okay, so there we go. M3 by 6. Yeah, bags are getting empty. Parts are looking like empty boxes. So that's a good sign. We're getting really close to the end of the road with this thing. So basically, I just want to get this in 3x6, and we're threading into plastic for this. I need to figure out some way to change my setup around here. I think these parts right here kind of have a never grabbed it right. I got these two sizes of hex keys right here that are close to the same size. They're similar in color. They ain't the same exactly, but alright, I'm gonna stop for a minute because something don't feel right. Let's grab another one and get it started. One of these days we'll move out of this RV and you'll have some space to build a boron 0.1. I'd love to see it, Ben. I'll be praying for you, man. I'd love for you to pop on here, and I already have prayed for you, to be honest. Ain't gonna lie. I'd love to see you get out of it ourselves. Get yourself set up and situated somewhere. Don't know you from Adam. Just know you from visiting my streams. Don't like to see people suffering though. I swear my fingers are just too fat for this. Yes, sir. Anytime. Anytime. They're free. They don't cost nothing. They don't cost a thing. And in my experience, it seems to do the most. Over tighten this because it is threading into plastic. Now let's get this one. That one felt like it was wobbling or something. I don't know. Just, it felt weird. That's why I took over onto the other one. Like it wasn't threading in straight. Something just didn't feel right. So I kind of stopped before I kept going. Crazy carried away with it. Here we go. So now we got us a controller mount there. Very nice. I like it. And we just need to get one on this other side. It's a really nice board. What kind of blows my mind about this board is how big it is. I thought about like doing a little gag video kind of about this board, because I use a lot of flight controllers for my drone stuff. It's just title it as the next latest and greatest flight controller. Look at how big this monster is, because it's got one heck of a processor in it, that's for sure. I think most of our processors that we use today, the drones, they run like an F7 processor. So I'm curious about this one. Yeah, this is a F446. It's a pretty good sized processor. Got a lot of computing power, but it's a whole lot cheaper than the actual flight controllers for them drones. The board is. That would be too smart of me, Delmar. That would just make it too easy. You know, I got to do everything the hard way, it seems like. Yeah, that just pre-cut the threads of putting the screws in the plastic before attaching. Yeah, that would just make too much sense. Too late. All right, so we got that ready. And I think the only thing left that goes in the, as far as the electronics bay that I have is the, we've got the PSU in there, we've got the controller board ready, and I'm going to put a solid state relay in it. I'm not putting a Pi in there. I kicked it around, thought about it. They're just so damn blame expensive. I know there's Pi alternatives, and I actually have a Pi alternative, which is an old laptop that was just sitting around here, not doing nothing. Been completely reprogrammed and reconfigured, and it is my Raspberry Pi now. And I can probably, I have turned my laptop into 2 Raspberry Pis. I have seen it, put it on, looked at Clipper or main cell. It does have everything configured in it. I think it's ready to go. That's something that I won't have to do. And I imagine if I wanted to make another Pi out of it, the laptop is probably powerful enough to where I could create maybe 4 instances of Clipper in it. But right now, it has 2. I don't know why I keep these jumpers. I have millions of them in here just from the drone stuff. Just never know when you need stuff like this. As much as I play around with electronics. But yeah, that's so I got the control board going in. I put the solid state relay in. We'll see where I'm at as far as in the instruction manual. I did veer away from them quite a bit, and it got me a little confused yesterday. I noticed that it was kind of bouncing all over the place. I think it has a lot to do with me doing a lot of things differently. Again, just for reference. It's a nice looking board. Are you going to run Clipper on something? Yeah, yep, I'm going to run Clipper on it. And the board that's actually in my little Ender 3 is a SKR Mini E3 V2. I'm probably going to wind up putting Clipper on it. I didn't want to change it while I was 3D printing all my parts for my Boron, because it was printing so well. I really hated to kind of mess it up and then wind up having to go back through and configure. I figured that would have put more. It would have just added more time into this build. I was trying to get the parts printed so I can get this thing started. The Manta M5P CB1 with CAN bus tool head is probably the most efficient for Trident right now. Wow, really? That's cool. Man, and I was looking at that Manta controller board before I bought this one right here. Like I said, there just wasn't a whole lot of documentation or information out there about the Manta at the time when I was ordering this, so I kind of veered away from it a little bit, to be honest. I just didn't really. I like to have a really good understanding of what I am messing with. So the next thing I need to get ready is the solid state relay. And we actually do need the M4 by 6. We need our solid state relay and our mount. So I believe I got this solid state relay. I know I got this mount right here from KB3D. And this is a genuine, as far as I know, genuine Omron. It says it's made in China. Could be a clone. Who knows? Let's hope it works. So there's our solid state relay. Really show it being oriented in any particular fashion, and we need our mount. Got this mount from KB3D. Join the Fabrico and Boron Discords, lots of info there. Yeah, I've actually just recently joined the Boron Discord. I have done that, Delmar. I haven't. I haven't joined the Fabrico Discord. So there's our solid state relay. We just need 2 of these M4 by 6 button head screws. And this is set right in there like so. Let's see. Sometimes those ball in hex drivers just don't really hold the screws very well for me. I like my little screwdrivers here. They work really good for whenever. See, that's a good tight fit. It holds it on the end. It's not even magnetic. It's just such a good fit. These are a really good set of hex drivers. I bought them from Race Day Quads years ago, and they've been my favorite when it comes to using it. And they don't tear up or booger up. They don't booger up none of these hex bolts or anything like that. So there we go. Got that tightened down. There are a lot of channels in Fabrico Discord for each of their kits. Lots of questions and answers for each printer type and kits they sell. Okay, I'll check that out, Delmar. Absolutely. Let's see. I don't want to keep the box, but I always do. I've done this with all the drone stuff in the past. I always like to keep the documentation because you never know. Sometimes that stuff comes in handy for certain things. Like I may forget what controller this is, but it's clearly labeled a 446. So there we go. We got the solid state relay. Okay, so now we're on to preparing. Oh yeah, we're moving right along. That's good. Trying to get set up for wiring everything up. So now I need this little skirt piece right here, and I need some other electronics. I literally seen yesterday. I don't see them now. Man, they grew legs. Oh, here they are. Thought I was going to get to them yesterday. That's why. And we're going to wind up needing to put some heat set inserts in this. We got a couple. So this stuff right here came from West 3D. Probably already checked to see if the fuse is in it. There that is. Plug. And my switch. I guess I need to put 3 heat set inserts in here. Printed your first carbon fiber PETG parts last night. I'll have to go over to the house to see how they came out. So hey Ben, I don't know if you've seen this thing. I gotta show it off because I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest with you. This right here is carbon fiber PETG. And this is one of my little drones. This is my design. I created it in CAD. It flies good. At the top is that's TPU, but the frame is carbon fiber PETG, and I printed it in carbon fiber PETG because it's got that, you know, little bit of flexibility, but it also has the stiffness of the carbon fiber in it. So it is a little rigid, but it does have some flexibility, which I think it'll help it on impacts. Which this is a little 2.5 inch drone right here, and it's not really, you know, it's not designed for super fast freestyle flight or anything like that. Yeah, it's sweet. It's a lot of fun to fly too, and it actually has the high definition camera systems in it. So, you know, instead of like some of the old drones, whenever I got into it, where you fly like old analog TV style footage and whatnot. This one actually has high def. I think it's 1080p. Crystal clear image. I mean, there is a little bit of digital breakup and artifacting in the grass, you know, minor details. But for this little 2.5 inch drone, you know, slow, steady flight, you know, cinematic photography or footage and stuff like that, it's really good for it. And I love it. And like I said, I got in there and I created this myself. But the carbon fiber PETG that I used was 3D X Tech carbon fiber PETG, and that stuff, I think it printed amazing. I mean, it just did great right out of the box. Didn't really have to mess around or play with it at all because my printer was tuned up really well. I just put the material in it and set it, and she fired it up and just set the correct temp and all that. That fit in there really nice. And I think I put it in upside down. That would suck. Yeah. It just snapped that damn thing in there upside down. Hey, yeah, be safe on wire. Yeah, absolutely, Delmar. I'm not gonna play around with this stuff. I know it's no joke. and that's for sure. But I appreciate you stopping in and checking us out. I hope to see you next time. And take care. So, yeah. That is upside down. Yeah. That stinks. So I wonder how hard it's going to be to get the switch out. Damn bad luck. That ain't too bad. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. There you go. You came out of there. Yeah. That was making me a little nervous. And that's how it's supposed to go. Much better. Yep. That's how that's supposed to look. So yeah, what happened was is whenever I got this, when I ordered this switch right here, somebody, I'm not going to name any particular names, but started flipping the switch back and forth really fast. And I was like, do you remember which way it was whenever you started messing with it? No. I was like, well, that might be a problem. Okay, so I need some heat set inserts, and I'll fire up the iron. 3 threaded heat set insert. Soldering iron. And just pop in 3 little heat set inserts real quick, and we'll have this thing ready to go. Delmar is always such a big help. I enjoy having him in here with me. Always got really great suggestions. I enjoy having everybody in here with me. There's always a lot of great suggestions in here. Wealth of knowledge. Man, I can't wait to see you get your boron build. Are you gonna do like I'm doing, live stream it? Show us how it goes along. That'd be cool. I've already gotten to the point to where I live stream everything, so kind of just want to make sure I keep easily solved with a multimeter. Yeah, that's what I figured. Switch. So I haven't had too much coffee this morning, so I shouldn't be shaky. One problem that I did run into, I think I've done it here, I countersunk them just a little too far. I had to put a deeper or a longer screw into a part because of it. Yes, sir. It sure is. This is my very first boron printer build. Very first. So I am a big time rookie. I've made, I think so far, like some of my biggest mistakes that I've seen yet have been just ordering the incorrect parts, which that can cost, that adds up and costs money. And money doesn't come very easy around here. I mean, I do have to get up every morning and go to work, so definitely sucks. But yeah, so far it's just been ordering incorrect parts. Other than that, I think I'm alright. I'd love to live stream anything. You have not updated either of your channels for a long, long time. Well, ain't nothing to do but to do it, man. Get you some space somewhere, or I don't know if you have it now. Just a little. There we go. Alright, so there that is. Yeah, live stream is a lot of fun. I think the thing that I like the most about it is actually having somebody to interact with. So I probably need to check this and see if I actually have any fuses in here. There's probably not. And this right here should just pop open, right? Slide out. How this comes open. I know it opens, but I'm not sure how. Just like that, maybe. Let's see if I've got any fuses in here. It's trying to come open. Not very easy. Here we go. Yeah, see? No fuses. No space here, not to mention limited internet access. All the internet here is via your phone. Oh, okay. Well, my very first live stream was actually done from my Apple phone. Yeah. Yeah, the very first one. It wasn't too bad. I think, yep. Very first one I did for this build anyway, for this boron build was from my phone. So I'm gonna put these little fuses in here. Imagine. Not sure how these things go. Snap it just like so. Kind of weird. Oh, okay, I see. I see what's going on here. Slide that back into place. And now we have fuses. Yeah. So that's fused. And okay, so I guess we're gonna have to get us a printer back up here. Does this want me? Oh yeah, wait a minute. I got to attach this. Here just kind of goes on the front like so, and we'll put some M3 by 10 flathead screws, and those might be up here. What a heck of a mess up here with all the wiring and stuff that was going on. Let's see, maybe they're over here on this side. Well, phone for nearly everything. The only thing I use my laptop for is running Cura and doing modern upgrades for people. Okay. Yeah. So, one thing I have is M3x12s flatheads. I could have swore that I had. There's some M3x6. It's gonna be too big or too short, probably. Let's look over here in the stuff that I got with the tap kit from KB3D. There's some M3x10 button heads. M3x6 flatheads. So yeah, we've got M3x12. So that's probably what I'm gonna use. Might stick out a little bit out the back. It's just gonna have to work. I don't think the 6s would be long enough. Would. We're going with the 12s. I'll go with the 12s on this one. You could slice models on your phone, you would. You go ahead and connect your printer up to your phone. Yeah. That'd be pretty neat. Yeah, that's not sticking too far out the back. I mean, it is a little bit, but so I'll take it. So basically all I'm doing is just threading these. Getting this connected up. Snug it down. And see, it's got just a tiny bit of stick out of the back. I guess that's why I call for 10s. Those 12s ain't bad. I don't think they're going to hurt anything right there. So there I have that built. And yeah, we're going to need our printer back up here. And we're going to need some M3x8 socket head screws. And I think those are laying up here. A bunch of them. Yep. Shows it getting attached to the printer, but funny thing is it doesn't show if it's a roll in T-nut or a hammerhead T-nut, which is kind of weird, unless it's already put in there, which I highly doubt it. Huh. Alright, so let's get this controller board. We're going to set it out of the way. Set the solid state relay out of the way. And our power input. And we're going to have to get us a printer up here. I need to probably readjust my camera here because you don't want to be looking at granite all day. Bring you back up here, up top. Got to give you the eagle's eye view because that's where we're going to be on this printer. And I actually moved this camera in just a little bit closer than what it was yesterday. So might be a little bit closer to all the action that's going to be happening here. You've been watching a bunch of videos for Tiny Whoop drones. FPV looks fun, but mighty expensive. It ain't much more expensive than the printer stuff. It can once you get your baseline stuff of what you need, which is the goggles, the controller, and all that. It's kind of like the yeah. Once you get your foot in the door with the goggles and the controller, that's the most expensive part, or the radio, which I mean you can kind of get out of that pretty cheap-ish. But let's see. Yeah, it's about like the 3D printing stuff. It can. Let's see. It's a little better view. Let's get everybody in a little closer. So the problem that I ran into yesterday with putting this power supply unit on, you can't see under there, but I had an issue where I think I had some plastic that was I had a layer shift on my printed part. It just had a little bit of too much plastic, and it wasn't wanting to lay in there like it was supposed to. Also, it over tightened these little top bolts right here for just kind of holding these tin rails in place for screws. Strip that one out. So a whole wide range of issues. Just the doors left for you. Happy to see you going. Hey, Arkansas, I've seen that printer moving, man, and you're the one that inspired me. I was like, wow, he has been on it. And I was like, I got to get in here and get to working on this thing. I know it's a lot slower whenever you're in the chat and whatnot, talking with people, and it kind of slows you down a little bit. But yeah, I seen you had yours moving, and I was like, wow, I need to get on that with mine. So that's why I jumped in here. Goggles seem like a waste for a one-eyed guy. I don't know. I mean, if you can still see out of it, I don't know if it would or wouldn't. I mean, but you can still fly like FPV, even like with a. I've seen people like for analog, you can get like a capture device that'll capture analog footage and use a tablet and just set the tablet like right in front of you and fly FPV like that. It's really fun. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it, just like learning about this 3D printer stuff. So yeah, they don't tell me if it needs a roll-in T-nut or a hammerhead T-nut right here, the back for this. Yeah, we're trying to get some power to ours, Arkansas. We want to see them first moves like yours is doing. But you've built one before, right? Or you just, when you dive into something, you really get after it. Because that thing looked great. Those printed parts looked amazing. I think I'm gonna put in some roll-in T-nuts here, M3, because it calls for M3x8 socket head screws. Be happy you aren't flipping a 350mm around to do all this. It isn't fun. Yeah, I bet not. I bet that does get a little heavy. Yeah, this is a pretty big printer right here in of itself, and I was like, I don't know, I need one much bigger than that. Of course, you know, you look at something and you say, wow, 350mm, that's you get the, what do they call it, the Tim Allen syndrome? See, I'm going to put T-nuts in here. It's not really telling me what I need. That's what I'm going to put in here. You've only built a fully modified bed slinger. This 2.4 is your first Core XY build. Wow, you like jumped into that thing and really got it done quick then, because it was like, seemed like just yesterday you were saying, I got my 3D printed parts in. And then all of a sudden you got a, see, take this crazy thing off my head. You got a printer that's making moves, and I like that. I thought I was making good headway on this thing. I'm glad you're in here with us. Trying to talk Ben E. Brady into getting into FPV. He can get into it for a reasonable price. He can even fly with one eye, I'm sure. There we go. So there that is. And we need some M3x8 socket head screws and our plastic part. Put it right down with it. So let me just right here in this little corner at the moment. Just put me some T-nuts in there, and 3 roll-in T-nuts. Doesn't really tell me exactly what I need to put in here. Hammerhead T-nuts, roll-in T-nuts, who knows? Let's see. Let me get these pieces aligned here. T-nuts aligned holes in the correct place, or the correct-ish place. Which is probably, yeah, I'm ready to see this thing make some moves. It's close. It's very, very close. Pretty excited about it. Taking you around 20 hours to get it to what it is now. Yeah. Well, I was kind of looking at like all the live streams that I've done of this, because I pretty much live stream every part that's went into this thing. It's I've probably already got well over 30 in this one, and I ain't even begun getting there. I finally got all the wires down here to where they need to go. I just need to get my electronics put in. That's a big deal, because it ain't gonna move without those. Have to have the electronics. We're almost having us a functioning printer here. And we're almost to that point as well. Seeing yours moving around, I was like, wow, he's doing it. Let's see. Not to mention print time for parts. Yeah. I got more than that in the print time for parts. I mean, because printing all these things on that little Ender 3. I think the fastest I could get it to go was 50 millimeters per second. So there's a lot to do as far as the printed parts go. FPV is very addictive. Ask me how I know. So, alright, we need to put in a little 3D printed part that's going to go for the Wagos. So, why does it not have me snapping that? What did I miss? What did I miss? Thought I was following everything to a T here. So I'm trying not to get off track with the, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm still in good shape. I'm going in the right direction. Like I said, I kind of bounced around in this manual here, got a little screwed up. So, didn't rail mounts how to. Yeah, let's get our mains distribution Wago put together. Yeah, you did buy, but I didn't start live streaming now at Arkansas until I had all my parts printed. So, in your defense, we started out roughly with the same stuff in hand, and you're already moving, which is freaking cool. Yep. Well, you give me plenty of extra Wagos with this kit. Heck yeah. Did you buy a parts kit? Yeah. Benny, Brady, this is a, are you talking to, yeah, it looks like you've been watching Nick Burns and Captain Drone fly around their house. I'm missing something here. You had the 0.1 to build as soon as this is done. You went ahead and ordered the frame and the Goliath for a BZ235 all-wheel drive. What's the AWD stand for? AWD build. Yeah, it looks to be been watching Nick Burns and Captain Drone fly around their houses. Yeah, that's a lot of fun flying around your house. You can get a little small, I think they're like 75 inch, 90 some inch drones. I'm fixing, it's the whole purpose behind this 3D printer build too. I want to design a whole fleet of different size 3D printable drones. I'd like to do the really small ones that you can 3D print at home. Maybe order some small motors and flight controllers, receivers, and all that stuff. Put it in it and just fly it around inside your house. Have a blast with it. Yeah. Kind of like the really, really small, tiny whoops. Yeah. Start. Okay. All-wheel drive, 4 motors for X and Y. Equals all-wheel drive. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like the 4-wheel drive. Gotcha. Alright, so just trying to get some Wagos ready to go. Snap in real nice. Tell you guys, the little ender that printed all this stuff. I mean the parts have turned out really great. And I initially wanted to do a switch wire conversion. I still kind of do. I mean, printed some really good parts for this printer. I don't have any problems with it. No problems at all. So I need 2 M5 T-nuts, 2 M5 by 10 button head screws. I think I have the M5 by 10 laying up here somewhere. I'll wind up kicking this controller board in the floor and I'm going to be upset with myself. Those are M5 by 16, so let me find my M5. You didn't trust your ABS prints for these builds. You want them to be workhorses for a long time. Yeah. I hear you. Well, I hope I can trust my ABS prints. This thing right here's got to go down this little corner right here. And I already see I got a problem. I put this little thing right here in my way. I don't know if I can get my fat fingers in there to move that panel clip. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to take this back out of the way here so I can get to it and move it. Well, Arkansas FPV, I kind of looked at it like I have to be able to get my parts printed if I'm going to build a printer. If I can't get my parts printed, be able to build a printer, what in the world am I thinking trying to build a printer? It's kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, I'm not saying it's the right or wrong way to go about it. It's just me, my thought process. So I hope I don't break this. Maybe that's why they had me print 6 of them. I don't know why it showed in the manual putting it there. It's going to be in the way of something later on. That makes no sense. That's where it shows it going. This thing is going right here in this corner. Like so. So imagine I could just put this panel clip right here. Be out of the way. Fat fingers in there to turn that. It's so weird. Am I in the right place with all this? At the back of the printer, yep. Yep. I hope my ABS prints are trustable. If they start breaking down, that would definitely bother me. I thought about going through the PIF, rolling in that, Arkansas FPV, get the printed forward parts, because I know they have some really high standards on the parts that they actually ship out to people. So I knew I wouldn't be getting terrible parts if I go through the PIF program. Alright, did I not grab? Yeah, there they are. Okay, y'all, gotta run and get ready for church. Y'all have a great day and print something fun. Absolutely. You have a good day at church, Ben. Glad to see you back in here with me, and hope to see you in here again in the future. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate having you guys in here with me. Let's see. If I get this M5T nut in here. It's an awkward spot to have to get it. All this stuff in here. Not a very easy spot to get to. I swore I'd laid a screw out here on the table. You want someone to blame that wasn't me if it failed. Oh, I got you. That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Well, for me, it's just kind of like it's all part of the learning process. I don't knock it. I don't think it's a bad idea. Uh, I did it also to try to, save as much cost as I could. Had I had the money right up front, I probably would have did it too. Would have paid for the printed parts. Paid for them myself as well. There's that screw I was looking for. Right there in front of my face. It's always in front of my face. This is one really hard spot to get into. And I must be doing it backwards. Maybe I need to do it like this. Yeah. Very awkward. There it is. Yeah, there's like a little weird trick to these things. You just gotta get them positioned just right. You can't just be mean with them. I want to get mean with them. What frame did you? That's right. You had a kit, right? Arkansas FPV. Did you say you went with a frame? Or a kit. Dang it. It's such an awkward spot. There it goes. Alright. What a pain in the butt. You had to sell quite a few FPV bills to fund these. You only have like 20 left. Is that all you have left? Yeah, I've broken drones down in the past and sold them off. Like, I'm gonna get out of it. I wind up keeping a frame or something like that, and get to looking at it and you're like, wow, I'll just let it go and build that. I always wanted to fly that frame that I had. Maybe I need to go buy some. It ain't much, just a couple of parts. And it's off to the races from there. Get after it again. So I decided I was getting out of FPV there for a while, and because of the whole remote ID stuff, everything was really bugging me, and now today, let's see, I think I got that one all screwed up. Yep. Today I'm all the way back in it head first, and got the part 107 and all that stuff. Crazy thing about the remote ID is the fact that you can't find the module anywhere, especially like this drone right here that I built. That's a registered drone, the FAA. And come September 23rd, and that is a commercial drone. Come September 23rd, I'm going to have to figure out some way to put remote ID on it. And there's nothing out there for it, except for this big old massive brick of a thing. Makes absolutely no sense. You just avoid that. All news that raises your blood pressure. That's what I need to start doing. Well, we can't ignore the crap that's out there because it's going away. Yeah. I want to be able to fly my drones in peace and not be bothered by nobody. You know, like it's a freaking crime or something. You know. All right, so there that is. How's that? Alright, so we got Wigos in. Yeah, probably a good idea to avoid news that raises your blood pressure. Very good idea. Now I can put this back. It's kind of an awkward spot to have to deal with that. Yeah, I don't want to get out of FPV now for sure. I'm kind of heavily invested in it, or just drone and flight for that matter at all. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it. But I don't want to be told I can't do it neither, especially after all the stuff that I've went through to make sure that I'm on the up and up and trained and whatnot. I don't expect everybody to do it. I'm not telling everybody they have to. I just don't want to be bothered. All I'm getting at with that. Yeah. And like you, Arkansas, it winds up raising my blood pressure because some of this stuff, you put a lot of money and time in it. You think remote ID will be the end for you? Yeah, so you think come September the 23rd, that's it? You're just going to get out of it? And I've thought that too. I mean, it's unfortunate. I've often thought that, you know, give them their certificate back. Well, you never lose your certification. You just got to renew it. Once you become a pilot with the FAA, just got to keep it up to date. The only way you could lose it is, I guess we got caught drinking and flying. But yeah, I've almost been to the point where I'm like, oh, I want to get out of it, but I enjoy it so much. All right, so we need some M5x10 button head screws, and oh, that's what that middle piece is for. That's not for the ground. That's actually for the PSU mount. Some M4x6. I think remote ID is going to be the end for a lot of people, though. And that's unfortunate too. I think people should step up and say, "Hey, no, I'm tired of you pushing me around like this." Most people can't afford to do battle with the government neither whenever it comes to a situation like that. So it kind of puts you in a bad situation all the way across the board. Let's see, I need some M4. I think they're right here. Yep, M4x6 button head screws. I don't like terms of hearing terms come into compliance and you have to do this or X, Y, and Z, especially if you ain't bothering or hurting nobody. I don't like those things. You think you always enjoyed the build more than the flight. I always commit hard to anything to find that I enjoy, hence all the FPV builds and all these back-to-back printer builds. So yeah, I can actually absolutely agree with that statement too. I think I enjoyed the build. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the flight too, but I am a better, whenever it comes to drones, I'm a better builder than I am a pilot, that's for sure. A whole lot better. I've spent more time building than probably flying them. Get that started. It's pretty neat though, being able to take something that, just like this thing right here, it's more complex than a drone build, that's for sure. Way more complex. A lot more goes into it. But it's so much similar. I think that's why I enjoy it so much. But take something that's nothing but a bunch of parts and whatnot and turn it into an actual working machine. It's pretty neat. Pretty dang neat. Just trying to make sure I get this squared up. I don't know how I got so lucky to position that PSU exactly where it needed to go in here. I didn't have to move this at all. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my license and just use it for the certificate, I guess, that I have through the FAA. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for my channel, really, pretty much. And that's the thing too. Like me just posting any type of flight video, even though I'm not getting paid directly for the flight, it could be construed as a commercial flight, and that's the biggest reason why I had got the certification as well. Just one of those things called covered or CYA. Yeah, now we need to get our ready to put our solid state in here. You used to build rock crawlers, square body Suburbans. Since two back surgery, you had to find another enjoyment. Well, it's definitely, it's probably a little bit easier on the back. These wires, every time they bump my touch screen, they roll the screen on me. All right, so let's put our solid state relay in here. There's a nice little, oh yeah, it's very cool. There that is, that's held in place pretty good. I like it. Give myself a little bit more room. This is all that's going right there. Yeah, I like it. Spring loaded. Yep. Careful with your fingers. Alright, we're not putting we don't have a 5-volt PSU and we don't have a Raspberry Pi, so now we're ready for the controller board. We'll snap it into place. It's got a nice little rail all of its own. So yesterday on stream I've already wired my limit switches, so they're ready to go. Let's see. Curious as to the best place to be able to let's see. Just kind of looking, see how I want to do this. How I want to stick this thing in here in space. Yep. So I think I'm just going to do it just like this right here, because that is, let's see, back of the printer's right here. Or yeah, I'm just going to do it like this. Make up your mind. So we've got plenty of room in this thing. Plenty of room. Probably wind up sliding this den rail on over a little bit. Let me think about it a second. Wait a minute. Yeah. I like it. Actually, I think the cooling fans are going to be on this side. I might slide this thing on back just a little bit further. Yeah. Applaud you for doing your own wiring. I sure as hell wouldn't want to. There's quite a few tedious hours. So yeah, and I want to keep. That was the whole reason why I'm doing the wiring myself. I just wanted to keep everything nice and neat and tidy. That's all that's about. A little bit of OCD. So, dang it. Now what in the devil? So do I have the wrong width den rails or something? I mean, I've struggled with these things. Should be 35. That's what just a touch over 35, but they're 35 millimeters. Dang it. I don't understand this. Maybe I'm just afraid I'm going to break something. Seems kind of fragile to me. Definitely is not wanting to go. It's so frustrating. I'm fixing to solve this problem right here real quick. So I'm going to pop this den rail out. Slide the controller on there and put it back in. Tired of playing with stuff like this. So this is a state that I was wanting to get this thing in yesterday, and I was coming up on 5 hours of the build, and just like it was time for me to step away. And what I'll probably do off stream is yeah, that wiring is something else. So I'll probably get off stream and kind of get all my wires set up and whatnot, get them ready to go. That way I can come back in on stream, maybe possibly now what's holding it? That one. But that way I can come back on stream and hook everything back up, or hook everything up. And go from there. Because I'm wanting to, I've done showed every bit and piece going into this printer. Yo, David Vera, I snuck in here on you this morning and I'm already hitting a point where I'm going to probably have to jump out. We, just getting this controller board set up and getting stuff put in place. That way we can start to get the work ready for the wiring. How's things going? They're going, moving along. Oh, pretty good. Ain't bad. So I'm having issues with the definitely having issues with the DIN rails for sure. I don't know if it's probably my 3D printed parts that's causing this problem. But the tolerances, it just ain't wanting to snap in there, and I don't like putting the pressure on it. That is really tight. So all I'm doing is just, I've just decided to go ahead, take the DIN rail all the way out and slide this thing on here, like so. This might be a terrible idea, but at this point, I'm willing to do it. I'll get it where I need it. That's what's happening here. We're trying to get it ready. My man Arkansas FPV, he was showing off his printer making first moves in the drone nation, and it got me definitely got me wanting to get in here and tinker with this thing some more. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening. That's where we're at. So I got plenty of room to be able to slide. This one bad blame DIN rail right here. Got room to be able to slide this over. I don't have to have that 80 millimeters through here. Line it up. Yeah, we're just doing some final moves and stuff. Put your panels on and forgot the titanium backers, making things harder on yourself. Just got them on. Those clips and everything can be in PLA, in all honesty, if you have to reprint them. Yeah, this, tell you what, that DIN rails are scratching the crap out of this frame. It's just going to be hidden, but alright, that'll work. That's perfect. Let's lose one. Let's lose one already. So I got that on there. Finally. And let's see if we can get this put back in place. My wife is bringing me a drink again. She is amazing. Thanks, baby. Sorry, fellas. I need to jam my head all in your face. Just trying to make sure I get these holes right here lined up. There went another one. Let's see this one open. Oh, great. That one looked magnetic. Such fun. I'm losing all my screws, fellas. Oh, there they are. Yep. I see them. All my screws are loose. Get that one lined up. And get this one lined up. There we go. So we should be good to go on that one. Now I just want to spin around here. Yeah, David, we've been tinkering around with getting a lot of electronics and stuff, trying to get them put in place, in space. Here, trying to figure out how I want everything to go. Just dove in here early this morning, didn't really schedule nothing or plan anything. It wasn't at just prepping my board. I knew that this BTT Octopus Pro was something a little different. It actually had some limit switches or something made into it for the PT 1000 that I had to flip and get correct. Dang it. Cannot get this bad boy thing. Let's get this over here. Got screws rolling around everywhere. But I'm at this point right here where I'm gonna have to build out all my wiring and stuff. That way I can start getting it buttoned up, and hopefully we'll be making some first moves pretty dang soon. Not today though. I can see that already. It's not gonna happen today. But we do have things in place and are ready to go now. But I mean, look at all this space I have in my, without having the Pi in there, and or the 5-volt reg. I mean, there's plenty of space in here for stuff that I may need or use in the future. Who knows? Or there's plenty of room to get some clean wiring done. She's getting there, yeah, it sure is. Yep. Slowly but surely, one piece at a time. One piece at a time. Not the easiest thing in the world to do. So many steps that go into it. And even whenever I get ready to start programming the firmware and stuff, I mean, that's not an easy spot to get into. That's assuming that I got my can't tell if I got the T-nut lined up right. Looks like it. It's awful dark up in there. Nope. Not gonna help if I had that thing where it needed to be. There we go. But it is now. Yep. Where'd my screw go? Losing my screws. Be worth all the time invested. Yeah, like I said, in the wiring, the do-it-yourself wiring kit was the reason why I've done it. Because like I said, I knew that I wasn't going to have a bunch of stuff going into this that I've seen in some other builds. So there's going to be a lot of things that I don't need. Got plenty of room to do some really clean wiring, so I'll just do it myself. Make it real pretty, nice and tidy underneath. Bit on the fence about the Raspberry Pi or maybe a Pi alternative. I'm gonna run this whole system outside of the printer with a laptop. I think it's gonna work just fine. I've already got the laptop set up. It's got installed the operating software of Debian Linux, which is pretty much what I think the Raspberry Pis run off of, and created something that looks pretty much identical on the laptop to what you guys would see on a Raspberry Pi. I created 2 instances of Clipper on that for 2 different printers. So yeah. There we go. We're ready to see like all this. You know, I don't need all that. I got 2 motors right here, you know, up front, and they need to go right here. You know, it's just a short, quick little connection. You know, I don't need all this craziness. And this one, all this stuff right here. Bring it all up in behind, and around, and make it go where it needs to go, real nice and pretty. You know, I think it's going to look really good when it's all done, fellas. Even like this one, I got all this wire right here. It's not needed. At all. Neaten it up, bring it on behind. Have all that extra wire that I don't need. I get rid of all that. And that was the whole purpose in behind the do-it-yourself kit. It really was. But I think what I'm going to do, first movement is exciting. The probe accuracy test made you pucker. Did you put the? I didn't see that. Did you put the tap on yours? Arkansas FPV. Did you do the Voron tap on that one? So I'll definitely be diving into this wiring kit and doing a whole lot more crimping and getting even better at it. So I just wanted to jump in here for a few hours this morning and try to get just that much further ahead. We're looking like we're in pretty good shape. All right, so OBS is already glitching out on me. And I think I'm pretty much at a point where I want to stop. David, I appreciate you stopping in. Sorry that I didn't drop a notice in there. I was just trying to just jump in here when I had a chance and get this controller board right here. There's a lot that, because of it being the Octopus Pro, there's a lot that goes into it, and I wanted to make sure I double checked and read everything and made sure I'd done it. Set it up correctly. I know it was a little different than the regular Octopus, not completely, but there is some differences in it, and I kind of went over that somewhat in boring detail in the beginning. But we'll get back in here. If I get a rainy day this week from work, I may set up a stream and come in here and do some wiring. I may jump in here off stream and just shorten some of these, crimp them, get them ready, go where they need to go. Wagos is going to make things super fast for all that. Hey, it was fun having you guys in here and chatting with me. Like I said, next time I get in here, it's going to be more of a setup and ready to go. And hopefully, just hopefully, we'll probably be able to make this thing do its first moves. You have the clicky setting here, but you just used the probe in the kit for now, so you wasn't sidetracked to many different install guides. I hear you. Yeah, we put the untap on this. I don't know if you've seen that. I know you've been busy, Arkansas. But anyway, we're gonna end this for now, and we'll get back in here as soon as possible, and hopefully, like I said, just hopefully, we might even be pushing plastic. Thank you guys for stopping in with me, and we'll see you next time.